told the audience that you're a video marketing expert. You're also a practicing attorney. You train attorneys to do video marketing. Can you tell us about yourself?
Yes, I can. So I practice law here in Dallas, Texas. My practice is federal trademark and copyright law. And I love what I do. I work at home. And video marketing has been very, very good to me.
Yeah. Well, we should 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Dustin Sanchez TV Lawyer Marketing Show. This is the first show number 1. Okay, and I have a special co-host with me today, Shannon Quadros out of Houston, Texas. Normally this will be where I did the pre-roll and the fancy branded montage, but I don't have that. So I'm just going to have Shannon Quadros introduce himself, tell us a bit about him. How are you doing, Shannon?
Wonderful, Dustin. I was hoping you'd put in, Hulk Hogan's WWE Walk-It intro music when I showed up, but we'll save that for the 100th episode. All right, there we go. That's a problem.
Yeah, my audio-visual guy's on vacation.
There you go. Exactly. But hey, good to be here, Dustin. Thanks for inviting me. Especially thank you for inviting me to be part of the first show. Again, my name is Shannon Quadros. I'm a construction and real estate attorney here in Houston. And how I know Dustin is, we met in law school, and he used to sit 2 seats down from me in civil procedure. And the rest, as they say, is history. I'm very keen on what we're going to be talking about today about attorney marketing. I've talked about it from the very classical business and rainmaking sense, but there's a whole aspect to it that I personally have not delved too much into, which is video marketing and online marketing, and I'm here to learn just as much as I'm here to co-host.
Absolutely. People know me as an expert in lawyer marketing, and I wanted a co-host for this show to get sort of maybe someone who's a little bit more removed from marketing, get their point of view. And I'm hoping that Shannon will ask some of the questions that some of our audience might have asked that an expert wouldn't have thought to ask. Shannon was one of the only people in law school that was actually kind to me. I did several negotiating extra credit things with him. I didn't need the credits, but I knew when Shannon asked you to do something, I want that favor in my back pocket for the future. And so here he is on the first show. So I appreciate you getting here, Shannon.
No, absolutely. Yeah, and to the audience here, Dustin pulled out his list of all the things he did for me. And he said, "Are you going to show up?" I was like, "Okay."
Well, let's talk about today's guest. As Shannon said, this show is about video marketing. I feel that's one of the strongest things attorneys can do to grow their practice. And I want to say specifically do-it-yourself video marketing, meaning you take control of your own marketing, whether that's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, what's the new one? TikTok. Everyone's getting on TikTok now.
And maybe Parlor soon enough too.
Yes. I feel like there is a leading video marketer in the lawyer industry right now, and her name is Angela Langlotz. She's a practicing attorney out of Dallas, and I've been watching her for, I want to say 2-3 years right by now. This is actually the 3rd show I've done with her, although this is the first official lawyer marketing show. I did a show with her on my YouTube channel about 2 years ago. We did a live stream together during COVID, which is still going on right now. If you're watching this in the future, today's November 19th, 2020. So we're just hopefully coming out of COVID. But Angela is someone that I try to mimic when I make my own videos on social media. Okay. And before I bring her on, I just want to have a section of this show called the quick tip. Okay. If you watch a lot of podcast shows, you'll see they have this quick tip. And my quick tip is this: everyone gets kind of confused about what marketing is, or you think it's something more than it is. But marketing is really just tell people who you are and what you do. It's as simple as that. And I feel like there's no easier way to do that than video. What do you think about that, Shannon?
I definitely believe in the premise. And I actually, when I've actually taught a class on rainmaking for solos and small firms, and not necessarily the methodology, but the principle behind it. And one of the first things I talk about is, if no one's going to give you any business if they don't know who you are and if they don't know what you do. And so you start small by telling your friends and family, but the true test is, if your mom or your child can't explain to someone else what it is that you do, then you've not done a good job telling people who you are and what you do. And so I definitely believe in the principle, and whatever methodology you use to get that message out there, whether it's video, whether it's, if you want to choose an advertiser, whatever it is, you need to do that because that is fundamental.
Okay, Quadros, I'm glad you said that, because I tell all of my own clients that I bet most of your friends and family don't even know what kind of lawyer you are and what kind of law you practice. And just like you said, if your own mom and your own children don't know what you do, you may need some help in marketing, telling people who you are and what you do, okay? Angela Langlotz actually trains attorneys. She has a class where she trains attorneys how to grow their business using video marketing. And I just found out about 10 minutes ago, when me and Shannon got online together, that he's actually taken her class. I did not know that when I scheduled this guest co-host and Angela Langlotz. So I'm going to bring Angela on now, and we're just gonna show her in the stream here.
Okay.
Yes. Angela Langlotz, welcome to the Lawyer Marketing Show.
Thank you. I'm trying to put myself in the middle here.
Oh, you want to be in the middle?
No, I was trying to put myself in the middle of a little window.
Okay. Well, I've told the audience that you're a video marketing expert. You're also a practicing attorney. You train attorneys to do video marketing. Can you tell us about yourself?
Yes, I can. So I practice law here in Dallas, Texas. My practice is federal trademark and copyright law, and I love what I do. I work at home. And video marketing has been very, very good to me.
Yeah. Well, we should also tell everyone your brand name, because branding is huge. And yes, when I mention Angela Langlotz to people, a lot of my clients are like, "No, I've never heard of her." And I said, "Have you heard of the trademark doctor?"
Yeah.
And I was talking to a Houston patent attorney the other day. He's like, "Oh, Angela Langlotz."
Yeah. So everyone knows my brand, Trademark Doctor. So you can find me online at trademarkdoctor.net. And I'm also all over social media. And that's how I get about 80% of my clients, is because people see me on social media and then they want to work with me. So, and if they want to work with me, they call me. Of course, I never hear about the people that I repel, and repelling the clients you don't want is just as important as attracting the clients that you do want. And the thing about video, Dustin, yes, and you know this too, Shannon, is that video is a great way for people to evaluate your presence and your personality. So if they don't like me, hey, totally cool. Don't call me and don't try to hire me. Okay. Like, they're going to go to somebody else. So, people who want the stuffy buttoned up attorney, they're going to go someplace else, because that's not me. That's not who I am. So I think video is the best way, bar none, and also the easiest and the least expensive way to attract your ideal clients to your law practice. And I define an ideal client as somebody who likes you, trusts you, and is willing to pay your premium fees.
Right.
And that is important, Angela, isn't it? Because it's not just about getting more clients. It's just getting better clients, because better doesn't, more doesn't necessarily equal better, but better does equal more.
Well, better equals more, usually more money, because they value you more. More satisfaction for both the client and the attorney, because they know who they're getting, right? Because they've seen my hundreds of videos on YouTube. And if they call and they're kind of fussy, I'm probably not going to want to work with those people. And sometimes I do say, this doesn't feel like a good fit to me. There are some other attorneys that you may like better.
Exactly. Well, here's the premise of the show. Of course, you know what I do, and Shannon is a named partner at Kilmer, Crosby, and Quadros.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to bring someone who was a little bit removed from the marketing space, and just hope Shannon can ask some of the questions I wouldn't necessarily ask. But if you wouldn't mind, could you tell us the story of basically how you became an attorney and a trademark lawyer? How did that happen?
Okay, so at the time I was working as an estate planning attorney, and I had a pretty horrific commute. I was commuting from Carson City, Nevada to Reno, Nevada. And, it was just, the commute was taking up way too much of my life because my office was in Reno. And at the time I was married to a patent attorney. And he said, I really want to start up the trademark part of the practice. Why don't you come and work at home and we'll practice together? That didn't really work out so well. We got divorced a few years later. I gave him the practice and I started over. So when I started over, it was really, really hard for me. So I had been working, I had built a niche for myself in the firearms industry, right? So I was filing more than half of all the trademarks that got filed in the firearms industry at that time. So I was very well known in that industry. And, this was before the internet was like super a thing for lawyers. So when I went out on my own after the divorce, it was really hard for me to figure out how to get new clients, right? And I struggled for a few years. And then I saw other people. Facebook Live kind of became a thing, a couple of years ago. And I saw other people using Facebook Live as well as pre-recorded videos. But I'll tell you why I decided not to do pre-recorded videos in a second. But I saw other people going live and I just thought to myself, screw it. I'm just going to go live and see what happens. And a few months later, I had work. I had clients. It was great. And I mean, it's not an overnight thing for sure, because you have to show up, right? And you have to give people value. That's not an overnight thing, but it's free. And if you don't have enough clients, you have extra time to do video marketing, right? And if you do it right, you don't have to edit your videos and it saves you a ton of time. So the first few videos I made were short explainer videos about trademark law. And they were animated videos. I used a program because I'm kind of a techie person. I used a program to create these videos and it was great, except, you had to I had to narrate them and record the narration and then put that track down and then coordinate all of the animation to match with the voice track. And it was super time consuming. I probably spent the better part of a week on one video. Okay. I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. This is crazy. So I just thought live video was going to be so much easier because I didn't have to edit it. And anybody who's ever edited video knows about the agony of which I speak. Okay. It's like the worst thing ever because it can take you 20 minutes to edit 1 minute of video. And I'm not even exaggerating. More.
And that assumes the sound is all lined up because half the time you have to get the sound track right.
Yeah. And that can be really difficult too. And so I decided, forget it. I'm just going to run videos live. I don't even care if it's, shaggy, if it looks bad, fine, I'll get better. But you know what I told myself? Anything is easier than being broke.
Yeah.
Anything is easier than being broke, right? So I was like, okay, forget it. I don't even care what people think about this. I don't care. Anything's easier than being broke. So, so I started doing live videos and people started noticing and people started calling me and tagging me on questions in Facebook groups and, commenting and tagging me when people had trademark questions. And pretty soon you just become really well known for that. And people come to you because they see you everywhere, right? Your videos get shared. If you're friends with people in your particular niche, my niche happens to be, I serve a lot of people who sell stuff online, right? So my niche happens to be people who are online entrepreneurs. All of those people know who either know who I am or know my brand, right? So
Okay.
Angela Langlotz, or they know my brand, Trademark Doctor. Okay. So yeah,
There's a lot to unpack there. I didn't know that you kind of sold the practice and you were in a position to start over, which is good because, a lot of people find themselves right there right now, like they're having to start over and they have to find a way to generate clients. You had said like video is easy, and I want to put that in perspective. If you want to learn search engine optimization, people spend years and thousands of dollars trying to just get semi-decent at SEO. If you wanted to learn Facebook ads, that's an entirely different skill in itself. Video marketing comes down to pick up your cell phone and talk to your friends about what you do. That's what video is. And you take it one step further, live video, just one and done. Get up there and it's in the world, and you get better as you go.
You do get better as you go, and mine were ugly at first. You can go to my YouTube channel and look at my first videos. They weren't good. Okay. They're still up there. I left them up there for a reason, because I knew that someday I would be able to go back and say, damn, I'm so much better now than I was.
And Angela, I think that's also the point though as well. Do you feel that, particularly with respect to live versus minimal editing videos, that just live sets the expectation that they're not going to get perfection? So it's sort of both for you yourself, manages your own expectations, but also the viewer's expectations that, okay, this is live. This is not going to be perfectly choreographed. And admittedly, you've also said you're recording from your studio office, right?
This is my studio office, Shannon.
You're not in 30 Rock with a professional makeup team and a lighting team and someone monitoring camera 1 through 6 in the control room, right? And so, do you think that have you had any feedback, for example, from your viewers who said things about just in terms of, yes, they like the quirks, they like that, oh, there's a fly buzzing on your head or something like that's happened. I think your cat makes an appearance every now and then too.
Simon tends to make an appearance when he jumps on the desk and waltzes across, and sticks his tail on the camera. That doesn't happen very often, but there was one video that I did live where I'm literally like leaning forward and holding him out of the way while I finish the video, right? I mean, I'm sure everyone's like, what the heck's going on there? She looks like she's kind of stressed. And I'm just like holding him back so he can't waltz across the desk and ruin the shot, right? As far as expectations go, okay, so yes, there is something about live video that people love as opposed to pre-recorded video. Part of the reason why I like live video, Shannon, is because I really feel like they're seeing me, right? I want them to see me. I am not afraid of people seeing who I am. Okay. I like me and my clients like me. And part of the reason why I have clients that like me is because I'm willing to show them, hey, this is me. This is who I am. And so I attract people to my practice that like me. And that's a really important thing.
Yeah.
Because, we deal with tough stuff as lawyers. And a lot of times we're not seeing people at their best. Okay. So if they like us, they're going to at least try harder to be good clients for us, right? Because they like us. They automatically feel sort of a kinship with us, maybe because they've seen us on video, or, if somebody's seen you on a billboard a million times, that's nice. They've seen your face. But when they've seen you on live video, that's a different, kind of a more intimate look at who you are. And so there's the practical aspect of doing live video where you don't have to edit it, right? Like you just go, right? I was wiping my nose earlier because my nose is running, and I said something like, we wipe our noses on live video, right? So that's who I am. This is me, runny nose and all. So if you don't like it, it's totally cool. Go hire somebody else who doesn't wipe their nose on live video. Okay. But this is my real life, right? This is my office that you're seeing. You can't really see the background because we're all shrunk down here, but this is my office. This is where I work. I work at home. Sometimes the cat wanders across because he's just a rude little beast and doesn't have any, concept of personal space, and he loves me and wants to be around. So there he is in the video. But I want people to see me as I am,
Yeah.
because that's what they're getting. They're not hiring a trademark filing service. They are hiring an attorney to help them, to counsel them. So I want them to like me and trust me. And so I have to be a little bit open about who I am and what I'm about. And that helps the client make a decision about whether or not they want to hire me. Right?
Yeah, I think what you guys are both speaking to, there's a large misunderstanding as to the difference between internet marketing and making television commercials.
Mhm.
And when people think marketing, they think this pre-planned, rehearsed, planned out television commercial. Well, that doesn't work on the internet. You know, on the internet, people are looking for real and maybe even ugly and unplanned, unscripted works on the internet. That's actually what works when it looks like you don't know how to produce a video, especially on social media.
People really value authenticity. I mean, look, we've all seen these high production value sort of fantasy lawyer videos that are on some lawyer websites, and those are all fine, but they're not really giving the client an idea of who you are. What's your personality? It's been produced out, okay? They've taken the filter to it, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right? Like all these stupid Snapchat filters that people wear because, people use because, excuse me, we burp on live television too, my video, because they're afraid of really showing people what they look like, right? Well, there's no filter here. This is what I look like, right? This is who I am. And I think people value the authenticity and they trust you more because your videos are not this sort of like high production value, polished, personality free video, right? I mean, it's all nice. It looks pretty and all of that. But if what you're trying to do is to get people to know, like, and trust you, how can you do that when you are not showing them who you are, what you know, right? You're just showing them like the pretty commercial, and the pretty commercial is fine. I'm not dissing people who do that. I'm just saying that I don't think it's as effective a marketing tool as one would think it would be. I think this low production value, authentic live stuff like what we're doing here, that is what people find more value in, because we're tired of the slick marketing BS.
Right.
We're all tired of it.
Actually, I mean, and I think the sort of the proof in the pudding about your exact principle that you just espoused, Angela, is TikTok, for example. Why is TikTok so wildly popular? Because it is not a choreographed, heavily produced. It is just people being people, and I think it's also proven to the fact that people are surprisingly not as judgy as we would like to think they are. They're all they care about, for example, in TikTok, is either being entertained or informed. But at the end of the day, like what you're saying, is you're not here to sell your hair or your wonderful collection of necklaces. That's not what you're here to do.
Although I do have really nice hair and really nice
and a wonderful collection of necklaces. Yes, you do. That's a perk. But what you're really here to say, to demonstrate to them is, look, I know about trademark law and I can help you. If you want that, that's great. But I think that is sort of that thing here, because I do think about even those produced videos. I look at them and I say, this is sort of putting out this very false narrative of what exactly it is lawyers do. Sometimes it makes them look like these like superheroes coming in to save the day, when a lot of legal practice is very boring. It's very administrative. It's very paperwork oriented, and
especially for transactional attorneys.
Exactly, and it's also I'm going to use this phrase. It's decidedly unsexy.
Not a sexy profession. The courtroom is sexy. What I do, not sexy.
Exactly. And so I think it's important for people to understand 90% of, even when you're in the courtroom, everyone will tell you, trial attorneys, 90% of your work is outside the courtroom. The courtroom represents less than 5 or 10% of your actual representation of a client if you get there. That this is what you're going to see, and this is what you're largely going to have to expect about what you're going to be dealing with. So hence, I think it presents a more realistic picture of what a client's interaction is going to be like. Because I assume, just like how you talk on your videos, is I assume generally how you address your clients. If you were picking up the phone, I think about it is Angela presenting to me, like if I had a Zoom meeting with Angela and I'm one of her clients, this is what I'm going to see.
You would get this.
Yeah, and I think that's important, because That's helpful because ultimately it's not the brochure, the car on the brochure you're getting, it's the car you're getting in and driving to work every day. And
Right.
so that's what matters. The authentic really is, what are you really going to deal with day in and day out? What's the not?
Yeah.
Not that you have any.
Yeah. Well, I'm like everybody else. I'm not perfect, and yeah, I make mistakes on my videos all the time. Do I worry about it? No. Do people ever mention it? Yeah, sometimes there's this guy on YouTube who likes to kind of pick apart my videos. And in the 3 to 5 minutes that I do, I can't explain everything about everything on the video, and I'm not going to try. He likes to do that. It's fine. I let him yammer. It's good for engagement, right? But you have to have, I think you brought this up earlier. You have to realize, Shannon, that people don't criticize us as much as we criticize ourselves, right? Like I'll say, oh God, I said trademark when I went copyright. Oh, well.
Right.
Seriously, like sue me. What? Or ask a question, drop a comment in the video below and I'll clarify, right? So yeah, we're not perfect and we don't have to be perfect. Okay. And I think this whole idea that lawyers have to do everything perfectly all the time, we have to show up on video perfectly and we have to do it, it's a lot of pressure. So if we can give ourselves permission to be a little less perfect and a little more human and show up as humans, I think that people will know, like, and trust us and decide to hire us despite our human imperfections.
Yeah, I want to add to that this concept of frequency of publish. The important thing is not to make one perfect video.
Nope.
The important thing is to always be in their face, telling them who you are and what you do. Frequency of publish is much more important than quality, I think. Just always be telling people who you are and what you do.
Yeah.
And that's something you do a really good job of, Angela. I see you on Facebook almost every day, I think, except maybe not Saturday and Sunday.
I take the weekend off.
Okay, well, I want to get into your whole process in a minute. Right now, I want to talk about that first time you went live, all the feelings you have, how you decided what you talk. I'm sure you tried to talk yourself out of it even. Just walk us through, you had the idea up to the first time you hit live, the live button.
Well, I was terrified. So what I had seen on Facebook was people going live, like these coaches, right? They already had an audience. They were going live and they would like get on and wait for people to show up. And they would spend about 20 minutes or so talking about whatever it is they wanted to talk about. And I tried that a couple of times and it just felt weird to me. I didn't like it. So I think one of the things you learn by doing the live videos is you will find a length that works for you. The length that works for me is 3 to 5 minutes. Why 3 to 5 minutes? Why did I decide that? Well, I decided that I wanted to put out bite-sized chunks of information, right? Like I call it snackable content. Okay, I think I coined that term. Maybe I should register it.
Trademark it.
But I like to call it snackable content. It's useful. It's nummy, right? In other words, it's interesting, right? It's useful, it's interesting, and it's short. Okay. So we can go off on all kinds of rambles as attorneys about a whole bunch of stuff, but really useful and delicious and yummy. It's good, right?
Yep.
So that became my goal. And once I decided that that was what I was going to do, I was going to do my own thing and not follow, the coaches and what they were doing. My videos became a lot easier for me because it felt natural for me to just go on and give a little blurb about something, and then get off, not wait for people to show up. Right. So I started just going live. And so why did I go live? 2 reasons. Number 1, no editing. Okay. We've covered this a few times. Editing is hell. You don't want to edit. Fine. So you go live and you make your video and you're on and you're off. I'm not waiting for people to show up. I'm just making this bite-sized piece of content. And once it's done, it's done. The other reason is the algorithm. Most social media platforms that have a live video option, their algorithm prefers the live video. Live video is seen as sort of more contemporaneous. We know that you were just there doing it, right? Except I have some tools so I can actually run pre-recorded videos as live. So you can batch create your content if you want to. But I just started producing these videos, and I just started showing up just about every day, every weekday, on Facebook. Why Facebook? Because that's where my people were hanging out. Okay. That's where my online entrepreneur audience was hanging out. So I started going live on Facebook. And I also, of course, archived all of these videos so that I have a video library of about 450 videos now. I've got a YouTube channel with 450 videos on it. You know, and I just keep adding to that every day. So if I can't go live and I need to use the software to run a live, I can do a rerun. Sometimes I do reruns, right? I'm tired. I don't feel like doing hair and makeup, rerun. Okay. And because of the way the algorithm works, people don't see everything you put out. So even if you do a rerun from like, you know, 2 or 3 months ago, it's unlikely that people are going to see the same thing again, just because of the way the algorithm works. But yeah, basically it's not high tech. I turn on the camera. I have decent lighting here, but the lighting is very simple. Excuse me.
Sounds like you're repurposing that content too. We got to get into that.
Yeah, you can repurpose the content and run it to other channels too. But you know, we're not talking about a high-tech setup. Right now, the lighting that I have is the ambient light from the window that my desk is in front of, the overhead light, which you can kind of see is lighting my hair. And then I have a desk lamp over here. If I turn it off, what would happen? Not much.
Oh,
it's providing
a difference.
Yeah, and it's just a desk lamp. Honest to God, this is not a high-tech setup at all.
Okay. So how do you plan out your content? I want to walk through the process. Do you plan like a month in advance, a week in advance? Do you plan it all? You just get on and talk every day?
Sometimes I plan and sometimes I don't, but I find that in between, you know, walking around in the world and client interactions and questions that people ask me and things that people send me or I run across online, I keep everything in a spreadsheet. And I've probably got 100 video topics that I could just record batches of content if I wanted to. But you know what? I kind of like going live. I do. I like going live. I like turning on the camera and talking to people. So yeah, I could.
Are you coming up with your topic on the fly then for that morning, or?
Yeah, like this morning's content. So I had a conversation with a prospective client yesterday, and that's what prompted today's video about buying a URL not being trademark use, right? Like just owning URL is not trademark use. Here's what is trademark use, right? So that was a 3-minute video that I did and streamed live to Facebook, uploaded to YouTube, and uploaded it to my content wrapper that makes Square videos for other platforms, and saved it to Vimeo.
You know, this is such good stuff, because that is one of the big questions everyone asks me. You know, I say, you know, just get on YouTube and make videos, or just get on LinkedIn and make videos. And everyone's like, what do I talk about? And here's a trademark attorney. Like, I could hardly think of a more boring legal topic. You've got 450 videos on YouTube.
Oh yeah, and so many more that I could make. Okay, but so imagine you're a family law attorney, right? You can make all kinds of videos. Think about this is what I tell my students. I say, think of the top 10 questions that people ask you. Go make videos about that. You know? So this whole issue of what do I talk about? God, what do people ask you at cocktail parties? They find out you're a construction law attorney, Shannon, and they buttonhole you in the corner. And what do they start asking you?
They say, you know, oh, I hired a contractor to remodel my bathroom and X. And so actually, it is funny. I was once of the opinion, when even before video, about just writing blog posts and content, like, oh gosh, what do I say? I've got nothing to say. This is coming from someone who talks like 5,000 words a minute.
Quadros had nothing to say.
Yeah, I got nothing to say. But what I realized was on a daily basis, the easy thing, and this is something all lawyers can easily pull up, is you're either addressing a legal question or you're researching a legal question or someone's posed a legal question. And while you may even have done it many times before, for example, for me, someone will say, should I put retainage in my construction contracts? It's a very normal thing for me to talk about, but a lot of people aren't familiar. So I can spend 5 minutes writing or talking about contract retainage. As I suspect, even the URL as a trademark, I think I've even thought about it, and I'm sure it's been asked to you a million times, and that's exactly it. Lots of things, and even sometimes it can even be cautionary tales for me. Again, is that if there's a legal thing, I sometimes can even just talk about just regular legal stuff. That hey, if someone don't bury your head in the sand. The American legal system requires you to stand up and say you object to something. Otherwise, they assume you accept. So if you ever get something in the mail, don't just ignore it and throw it away and expect it'll go away. No, you've got to respond. Even if it's a perfunctory response to say, I literally have once said to someone, I disagree with your entire letter. We do not have the time to sit and go line by line. Please assume that we can test everything you just said in this letter for the purposes of that. And I stopped it because my client didn't want us to go through, spend like 5 hours responding.
Right. Blanket denial.
Blanket denial. It was like, sorry, no, we disagree. Bye. And but the point is, there's so much content just in every day. It's just that what we think may be decidedly uninteresting is something that our clients are probably wondering, oh goodness, I've got this, I'm dealing with this. What does this mean? Because even people ask all the time, like, what does this word mean? Or what does this mean? In our business, we know what it means all the time, but it took us some education to get there. But if we're especially trying to get clients who are lay people, they also understand, hey, I heard I've got an office action. I don't know what that even means.
Right? Yeah.
But Angela, for her, office action probably is the most decidedly uninteresting thing she's done. But the fact of the matter is, it's something that her clients need to know what that is, so they understand the lingo. So sometimes even just explaining terms is so important for people.
Yeah.
And I want to note that Angela's model, this 3 to 5 minute snackable content really alleviates that fear of what do I talk about, because you can talk about anything for 3 minutes and you want to not answer all the questions. The important thing is frequently get in front of people, tell them who you are and what you do. And so you can talk about anything for 3 to 5 minutes that's related to your topic. And it makes choosing a topic not as important as you might think if you're going to give a snackable 3 to 5 minute piece of content.
That you wanting more, right? The aim of, let's be real about this, since authenticity is the thing. The aim of this is to get them to pick up the phone and call you or email you saying, tell me more, I would like to hire you.
Yeah.
Right? This is not meant to be the Wikipedia of trademark law in case of Angela. Like, she does, she does this for a living. She's not a charitable trademark lawyer. This is how she, pays for her bread. And so this is so I think that exactly it is. It too long, both in terms of giving them too much, but also people's attention spans have shrunk.
Yeah.
And admittedly, who's got the time to sit and watch a 30? I mean, even for when I have to do it for law practice and I have to get continuing education units, I'm like, I can't sit for like a 45-minute or 30-minute webinar all the time. If I need that information now, I needed it yesterday, and I need to know what the bottom line is in 5 minutes, and I want to be done.
Right.
And so I think that all the more reason, particularly a layperson, is not going to want. They want that hit. They want that magic pill that solves that question they want to answer, and they don't want to understand why they got there, how they got there, what that means for the next. No, they just need a little bit to say, okay, then do. Now go-to person for questions like this.
Yeah. And sometimes people will call my office and they'll say, I don't even know who they are. They're not my friends on Facebook or anything. They'll say, I've been watching your videos for a few months now, and then they'll tell me what their problem is. And I always kind of, you know, they've been like, wow, they've been watching my videos for a few months and here they are. saying in essence, Angela, I'd like to give you money. I've been watching your videos for a few months now. It's like magic, I tell you, you know, and it's, I tell people, this is the easiest marketing content that I create.
Yeah.
Bar none.
I actually have a question for me related to what you just said here. I had because I know lots of attorneys, at least smart ones, will ask you, have you done the rough numbers on return on investment? I know anecdotally, you believe like for every minute, because you know, there is a halo of time before and after, or rather not halo, really more a penumbra of time you spend before and after you're recording. So let's say all in, like 20 minutes, say maybe, to get ready, get situated. I don't know.
Not even that. These
Not even that. So
no. So this is what I do. I'll write, like, if you go look at my videos, you'll see that there's a title, and you'll see that there is a brief description that probably takes me 2 minutes to write. Okay. Okay, so that's 2 minutes. Then I go live. That's 3 to 5 minutes. So now we're into it for like, we'll just say 5 minutes. Now we're into it for like 7 minutes. Okay. By the time I upload it to YouTube, upload it to Vimeo, upload it to the wrapper software, and stick it into my social media file, we're probably at 10 minutes. Okay. So 10 minutes a day, right? We'll call it 2/10 of an hour just for laughs. Okay. Since we're all into the billing by the hour.
Yeah.
I don't bill by the hour. I have flat fee. I have the luxury of flat fee. It's wonderful. Because I'm a transactional attorney, I can get away with that for the most part. But yeah, okay. So say it's 12 minutes a day. Honestly, if somebody, I get 2 to 3 phone calls a day from Google. Okay. And I'm ranked highly in Google for a couple of reasons. Number one, I have good reviews, and I put out content every day on YouTube, which Google owns, right? So it's like a self-perpetuating cycle, right?
Yeah.
And once you get it moving, it just keeps moving. Okay, so we're into it for 12 minutes. I probably get, 3 to 5 new clients a week, probably closer to 5. And the vast majority of those come from people who know me because of my videos, and the other ones are referred to me by people who found me because of my videos.
So for 1 hour a week, you're getting about 5 new clients a week.
Yeah. So I won't tell you numbers because, but you can ask me later if you want. But I'm making multiple 6 figures a year, in part because client getting is so easy for me.
Yeah, it's just a part of 2 things. It's a part of your process, and you didn't start out as good as you are now.
Oh God, no. They were terrible. Go look at them. I swear to God, they're terrible. They really are. They're terrible.
How
And
long?
it probably took longer in the beginning to get, you were, just getting it all. I'm sure it was a long, but I guess like everything else, practice, you just get better and faster at it.
Yeah, it took me about, I made about 10 videos probably before I felt pretty comfortable with the process. For a while, what I was doing is I was like writing a whole blog post and then using the blog post to like kind of gather my thoughts and make my video. I don't do that anymore now. I have transcription software so that I can actually turn videos into blog posts and then edit them. There's a whole bunch of stuff that could go on. And I'm not even fully exploiting the content creation that I could be from these videos because I'm so busy serving the clients that the videos are bringing me. I really just need to hire a social media person and let them dig into that. But, it's just, yeah, it's, I'm working about as much as I want to work right now and making a really good living. So I'm not like, I don't know if I really want any more clients right now.
Yeah. Why scale just to scale? If you're happy, your cup is full and you're working at a pace you are comfortable with. I think sometimes even just as a not aside to marketing, I think sometimes if you are at enough, great.
Yeah. I don't need more clients right now. I mean, I take more clients, but I'm not, I do the marketing that I do because that's what I like to do. And I could do more, but I just don't feel like doing more right now, you know?
And so you shouldn't. If you don't need to and you don't want to, why?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know, I want to dig into, Shannon mentioned, what is the return on investment? And I always get this question too.
Mhm.
And from my own experience, I can say all of my sales are easier because
Yeah.
someone who's watched 4 hours of my YouTube channel, they're coming to give me money. There's no sales process. They want to hire Dustin Sanchez. They're not looking for a lawyer marketing expert. They're
Mhm.
looking for Dustin Sanchez. And same thing, someone who probably finds Angela, they may be using Google, but they're going to Google and they're searching Angela Langlotz. They're not searching Dallas trademark lawyer. They're looking for her. And so the sales process is easier. I don't know how you calculate that return on investment, but to get me, because that works so well, to get me on the phone, you're paying $400 just to hear me tell you how much it costs to hire me. And people pay that. And it's because they didn't look for a keyword. They went and looked for me because of all the video marketing I have out there.
Actually, there's a whole book. Actually, I have the book right there. Robert Cialdini calls it persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah, and that's exactly what you've done. You've essentially pre-sold and everything from people who've invested in time. Actually, I say this to a lot of attorneys. People don't actually want to shop for attorneys. It's not a fun process. They don't have the time. Car dealers have learned this process because they like to keep you at their shop because they say once someone has sunk cost in it, they're not going to go, even though it's the same thing. If someone has already invested, and that's really what they've invested in the time to watch your videos, it's a human nature that they're going to then, even if on short of a miracle, unless someone is just so much further better than you are and checks all their boxes, they're not going to go somewhere else. They're going to go towards you. And in some senses, like you said, you're essentially passively pre-selling, so that by the time they come to you, they just give me a reason not to hire you, basically, when they're talking to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like when people come to me, they've either been recommended, right? And so I have that going for me too, or they've seen a bunch of my videos. One of the things that I use the videos for, and we haven't talked about this yet, but another reason to do video marketing is because those videos become a resource for you. So instead of explaining the same thing over and over again to everybody that calls your office, oh, how do trademarks work? So I have a whole trademark basics playlist. You can get through the whole playlist in under 20 minutes, and it tells you everything you need to know about trademarks, like the basics, trademarks, copyrights, and a little bit about patents, right? Even I don't do patent law, but some people are very confused about the difference between the 3 types of intellectual property. So these videos go through that. And so those videos are a resource for me, right?
Yeah.
And then so once they come to my channel, now they're on my channel, right? That's part of my evil scheme. They're on my channel. They can see my other videos too. And like I said, I have about 450 videos now that are me, my face, talking about trademark law. I have another, a case study that I did about decorative uses of trademarks on clothing and why that isn't necessarily trademark use. And I send people to that video all the time. Why? Because it's hard for me to explain these sorts of things over the phone to people, but in the video, so it's a screen, part of it's a screen share. So I'm actually showing them exactly what I mean and explaining it to them in language that they can understand. And they go, oh gosh, okay, now I get it. But I use that video over and over again because it's an easy resource. I know that the way I explained it works because people come back to me and they say, okay, now I understand what you meant. So we can use the videos as a resource too. They just become part of our practices, resource pool, intellectual property, whatever, that saves us time and aggravation when we're talking to people or trying to explain something to someone who's called our office. I will just say, give me your email address and I'll send you some information. And then they're able to go and look at the case study that I did about the decorative use of trademarks, or go get their questions answered in the trademark basics playlist, or, you know, whatever it is. How much do things cost and what is the process? I made a video about that too. So I use these videos as a resource in my practice to save me time, not because I don't like to talk to people, I do, but there isn't a lot of value to me or to them in repeating the same thing over and over again to everyone who calls when I have this great video that walks them through everything. I know because I kind of scripted it out, like what did I want to cover and make sure I cover in this video. And yes, I did record it live. It's not edited, but there were certain things that I wanted to cover and made sure that I cover, and I covered them in that video.
Okay. It's also like your own sales team. You know, I call my videos a sales team.
Yep.
There's out there 24/7.
And it's amazing, I will say, and at least I will admit this, I don't know if you'll want, the random things I will watch on YouTube at any hour of the night. I mean, I watched like Volkswagen Beetle auto repair. I do not own a Volkswagen Beetle, but I was like, I'm like, how did I watch this at 2:30 in the morning when I couldn't sleep? I don't know why. But it's amazing, and actually, there's studies about this as well. That why it's always a good idea for a lot of people to offer transcription or closed captions. There was a study as recently as about a year ago that there about 40% of the videos watched online are watched with sound off in bed reading captions. And I've actually caught myself doing that because they've either got a spouse or a partner they don't want to disturb, and it's just what people do to sort of wind down, or they find themselves up, and it's amazing. It's amazing. People will. It's almost surprising. I think video like infographics is the high fructose content of information, right? It's a high fructose sugar of information, and so it's highly digestible. It gives you that shot of information, and I just think that's why people come back to it, especially if it's short, because it gives you that. That's why video clips are so popular. You don't want to watch the whole thing, but
1 minute. 1 minute on TikTok. That's all you get.
Exactly.
Right. So it's truly snackable content. I'd call that bite-sized content, like, right? It's not even a whole snack. It's just a mouthful.
There you go. You're gonna make us hungry now. Now we need peanuts and beer after this.
Right.
Okay. Well, we talked about your process. Before we get to the final portion of the show, I do want to remind everyone that Angela trains attorneys to do video marketing. And I'm going on record. I am vouching for her. You know, I don't like to recommend professionals to anybody. You know, I'll recommend a real estate attorney to my brother-in-law. Next thing you know, I got a text message a mile long because that attorney did him wrong. I am recommending Angela. If you want to learn video marketing, here's someone who's got the process down and has a course and is willing to teach you. And we're going to give her a chance to say where you can find her. But first, we're going to the hot seat. Okay, these are 3 questions from the audience that Angela was not prepared for. Okay.
Right. Let me turn off my space heater because it really is a hot seat in here.
Oh, okay, she's going to move the space heater.
Okay, space heater off. I'm ready. Dustin, shoot.
Okay, so the first question. What do you wish you had done sooner in regards to your video marketing journey, per se?
I wish I had started sooner. Honestly, I mean, this is like a gold mine. And here's the thing. There are so few attorneys who are actually doing video marketing because they use all these excuses. I just wish I had started sooner. It just didn't occur to me.
Absolutely. I can tell you in almost any city, you know, in San Diego, there are at least 10 attorneys paying someone like me $3,000 a month to do San Diego divorce lawyer. There are 0 divorce lawyers in San Diego doing video marketing.
That's crazy. You need to send them to me. I'll set you up with an affiliate link if you want. You know, but it's crazy what people won't do, even though it's free. Okay, the videos that I run, they are free. Nobody charges me to put those on YouTube or on Facebook or on Parler or on Twitter or on Rumble. I don't pay for that. I pay this much, 0. I pay $0 for that. Okay. Yeah. 0.
Okay. This question actually comes from Quadros, Shannon Quadros there. He's asking, does it make a difference whether you heavily produce your video? And I think we spoke to that, but maybe you could talk about what equipment you need. Like, what's the minimum amount of equipment you need? How much might it cost?
This is the minimum amount of equipment you need. This
Oh,
okay, I'm serious. You already have all the equipment you need. If you don't have good lighting, just stand in front of a window. Okay, look, this is all I'm using right now. Window. Okay, look, I have panel lights because sometimes I need to record at night, right?
Okay.
So I have those. I also have a ring light. I like the ring light. Makes your eyes look all sparkly, you know. They get this ring. People love the ring. Anyway, what I'm using right now, I showed you. It's literally the overhead light, okay, the ambient light from the window, and then this to fill in from the side, okay?
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Those ring lights are like $13 on Amazon, and
they're super cheap. This one's on a stand. I think I probably paid $40 with it because it came with like this fancy filter and the tripod stand that you can adjust up and down, blah, blah, blah. And you can also mount a camera on it. Like, so this thing right here, this is the tripod, right? So if I wanted to, I could just put this on my desk. I can unscrew this part right here, and so it comes off. Okay. I won't take it all the way off, but this part right here mounts on that. So I can use that ring light, right?
Yes. So I tell people, just get on Amazon and search camera mount ring light. Like,
you're just making it too hard though. I mean, people think they need all of this equipment. Stop it. Stop it with the equipment. All you need
do 10 videos and then think about getting more stuff. Yeah.
Right. Like, shoot a couple of videos, see how that feels to you, and then shoot more videos. And I don't care if it feels bad, keep doing it anyway. It won't feel bad in like 12 videos from now when your phone is starting to ring because people are seeing your stuff, right? Like, trust me. And it doesn't matter what you look like. I had a student who was probably in her 60s, and she said to me very candidly, she said, Angela, I'm not young and beautiful like you. Are people still going to watch my videos? And I said to her emphatically, yes, people will watch your videos, and it doesn't matter what you look like. Why? Because you are attractive to somebody out there. Okay. So she had this kind of grandmotherly look to her. She was a bankruptcy attorney. And I could just imagine someone being totally relieved to find that presence. You know, it's all about you and your personality and your presence. And she was an absolutely wonderful attorney. You could tell she really cared about her clients. She was worried about getting on video with her 60-year-old face. And I just said, listen, it doesn't matter what you look like. Somebody will love your on-camera presence. They will love you, and they will want to come see you. And I can totally imagine that if I were going through a really hard time like bankruptcy, I would love to have an attorney like her.
Yeah.
Presence was so calming and so wonderful, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. Somebody will like you and your presence and want to hire you. I virtually guarantee it. I just realized I can't say I guarantee it, you know. But no, people hire people, right?
Yeah.
So if they relate to you, gosh, it doesn't matter if you're young or old or smooth or wrinkly or black or white or yellow or brown. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. People will want to hire you.
And I will say this as well. You've got to understand, we don't need 100 million clients. We don't need 100 million people to actually, for most people, one new client a week, or depending on the nature of your, actually in bankruptcy practice, depending on the size of the bank, one client every 1 or 2 clients a month. And just accumulating that over time is all you really need. Most people don't have 7,000 clients.
No.
Unless they're a high volume practice.
No.
You only need 1 or 2 good clients a month to be just fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you consider, now I did a survey, right? And most attorneys, like the average for a client is that you get about $5,000, right? So if you do a big divorce, maybe you get a little bit more. A big litigation case, maybe you get lots more. But $5,000 seems to be, and actually my earning per client is much less than that. And I'm still earning multiple 6 figures a year. Okay. Seriously. So if you can get 2 new clients a week gosh, even one new client a week. I know so many
Fantastic.
people who are struggling right now, but if you had $5,000 clients, 1, 2, 3, 4, you were getting $20,000 gross in the door. That would probably be life-changing for most attorneys.
That puts you in the top 5% in America. Right
Yeah,
there.
right?
Right there.
And that's not even that much money.
That's, yeah, exactly. And
Anyway.
that puts you in the top, I mean, yeah, that puts you in the top 5% in America right there.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, I just think attorneys who are not using video marketing are seriously missing out. And maybe you need to like re-examine all the money that you're sending to Dustin. I love Dustin, and Dustin does a great job. But I'm just saying, you would make Dustin's job a lot easier if you would just get off your hiney, do some video marketing. Like if you Google Dallas trademark attorney, I'm right there in the 3-pack. You know why I'm there? Good reviews, that helps.
Content.
And I produce content nearly every day and upload it to Facebook, not sorry, YouTube, right? So Google knows I put out content nearly every day.
Yeah, you
that
know,
people watch.
one of the most popular articles on my own blog, if you were to Google SEO is for suckers, you know, I am at the #1 article there, because in that article, I'm telling people SEO is a stopgap. It's what you do when nobody knows who you are. And so between the time of you doing your own marketing and people knowing who you are, they're going to find you by looking for a keyword. Well, that's SEO. Someone looks for Miami DWI attorney. They're looking for a complete stranger. But if they go look for Shannon Quadros, they're looking for Shannon. And that's what video marketing is. It's a step above SEO. SEO is a stopgap. I expect my clients to leave at some point when they take control of their own destiny, whether that's video marketing or whatever. You have to become known. You want to become known. That's the game. You don't want to be a keyword. So I have no problem saying, I want my clients to leave at some point. You need to outgrow me. You need to become famous. And if you don't, you can't afford a $50,000 a month television commercial campaign. You can, if you don't have a lot of time, don't have a lot of money, then you have a lot of time. If
right.
You don't have a lot of time, you probably have a lot of money.
Clients, you've got this is free because you already have one, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has access to social media. Okay, what's number 3?
The third one we've kind of touched on, but it's from one of my female clients, and she says, how do you get over the fear of being on camera?
You just get over it, right? I mean, look, you can stay where you are and keep struggling to get clients, or you can just do what I did, which was, screw it, I'm just going to start doing live video. I mean, that's what I said. I was like, I'm just so sick of being broke. I'm not doing this anymore.
There you go.
You have to fear being broke more than you fear going live.
Yeah. You know, I read Grant Cardone. Some people think he's crazy, but I love one thing that he says. If you care about your client, you will not let them go to some. That's kind of how I feel as an SEO expert. I know 90% of the SEO experts out there are just cheating people.
Yeah.
And I can't let my fear of looking like an idiot on video prevent them from finding out about me, because if they don't hire me, they're going to go get bent over somewhere.
Right.
And a lot of people, when lawyers tell me they're afraid to get on video, I think to myself in my head, you don't really care about your clients, do you? You need to care about your clients first, and these fears are secondary. I don't want you to hire me.
Anyway, like I tell my clients, I said, listen, didn't I tell you this, Shannon, when you took my course? I said, it's not a gun, it's a camera. No one is going to die because you went on live video. No, I'm serious. So people are afraid of public speaking, right? We know this. Like the number one fear everyone has is public speaking. And then probably the number 2 fear that people have is public speaking on camera, right? So we're just like, we're just pushing all their buttons at this point, right? We're pushing all the fear buttons. But like everything else, you keep doing it, and pretty soon, you know, you're 50 stories up and you're walking on that iron I-beam, and you don't even care about looking down anymore because you're just so used to it. You know?
Absolutely. And I think that's exactly it. It's just getting over it. And again, people understand about, especially about the looks. Listen, Danny DeVito, by any measure, is not
Right?
necessarily the most handsome, striking figure in the world. He's a fantastically successful actor.
Right?
Fantastic. I mean, and all three of us would probably trade for his money right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's the point. It is, but again, and it goes back to the point. We don't need everyone to love us or have this image that we are going to be this shining superstar model or anything else. There's a niche. Everyone's got a niche, and there's a certain group of people that either connects with or likes whatever it is that we are.
Oh, sure.
And no matter how odd, you can go to a Reddit subgroup to figure out. People can get very deep in how odd and how unique and niche they are.
There are some weird folks out there, man.
There's some weird folks who need representation too. And guess what? If you suddenly, like, Angela, I didn't know you did a lot of firearms, but that's exactly. There's a lady I knew in Atlanta that did almost nothing but gun trust. She was a trust lady, and she did a lot of gun trust work. And she's the gun trust lady, and so she didn't need to really worry about anything else because she was getting 20 new clients a month.
Yeah.
That's probably about a flat fee of like $6,000-7,000 a pop.
Oh, wow.
She was very happy on her drive to and from work.
I bet she was. That's cool. Yeah, I think people are way too afraid of the camera. I think people are way too afraid of what other people think. Sure, people have left sometimes either like inappropriately skeevy messages on my videos, commenting about me or whatever. I was telling Shannon earlier before we got on camera, I actually screenshot those and I turn them into more content. So everybody knows. I haven't gotten one of those in a long time, but
The word's out.
Everyone, yeah. If you come to my videos and you leave skeevy comments, those skeevy comments will be screenshotted, and they will be turned into more content with your name prominently displayed. So if you would like to leave skeevy comments, you will own them for the next video.
Oh, geez. Okay, well, Angela, you are a trademark attorney. You're an entrepreneur. You're a successful business owner. So let's talk about your favorite book. Tell me what your favorite book is. What'd you learn from it? Why you choose it?
My favorite book. It's really hard to say because I read a lot of business books and I get a little something from all of them.
What's the one that's made the most impression of you in the past, say, year or 2 years? What's been the standout?
I'm looking at my bookshelf as we talk here.
I know what mine is.
I think one of the best books I ever read was, and this is a classic, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, because it talks about how we see ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And I think a projection of what we put out there is obviously our own self-image. So they're really talking about, they have a little bit of a problem with their own self-image. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, so I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to be perfect. My videos are not perfect. And to me, I think that's absolutely okay.
Yes, okay, great.
I'm lovable even if everything I produce isn't perfect. So
perfect.
And I think people should adopt that attitude, because when you do video, you may get some snarky comments. I have a recommended way to deal with those. Some people may not be.
You have a process for that too.
I have a process for that. Yeah. I turn them into content. I actually did some videos about this, turn your haters into content. So, but I think it's important to realize that even if we're not perfect, and even if, we make mistakes on our videos, or say the wrong word, or have to blow our nose, it's still okay. Everyone's still going to like you. That matters, right? The people that want to hire you are not going to not hire you because you dabbed your nose with the tissue on my video.
Or you drink too much coffee.
Or you drink coffee out of a mug that's as big as your head. This isn't coffee, it's actually herb tea, but you get the picture. So my big ass mug, I call this my big ass mug. It's a running joke through my videos, right? So
all right.
But
well,
Yeah, everyone's going to have people that don't like them and people that do like them. But remember, we're making these videos for the people that need us. That's why we're doing this. We're making the videos for the people that do like us and do need us and do find what we have to say valuable. Not everybody's going to like us. If you have a problem with that, you know, re-examine your own self-image and continue on.
Okay. Well, I'm going to close it out there. I want to thank the co-host, Shannon Quadros of Kilmer, Crosby and Quadros. And I'll link to him, a construction attorney in Houston, in the description if you want to learn more about Shannon. I want to thank Angela Langlotz, trademark attorney, video marketing expert for attorneys. I'm going to link to her in the description as well, where you can learn more about her trademark practice as well as her training course that she offers. But Angela, could you tell us where we could find out more about you?
Well, if you want to find out more about my trademark practice, you can find me online at trademarkdoctor.net. If you're an attorney and you're interested in learning about how video marketing can attract your ideal clients to your practice, you can find me on Facebook. I'm actually I do periodically workshops, 3-day workshops, where I talk about the process that I use to make videos and the results that I'm getting therefrom. So you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Angela V, like Victor, like victory, Langlotz.
Okay, and I will link to all of those in the description. Also, if you want the show notes from this Lawyer Marketing Show #1, go to DustinSanchezTV.com/newsletter. Just reply to that first email, show notes #1. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you everybody for joining. 3, 2, 1, peace out.